So this story is very bad for Rwanda, actually. First of all, you have the headline in bold fonts stating Rwanda backed. Remember we had a whole
Yeah,
show on that
yeah,
a couple of
yeah,
We
yeah.
months
did.
ago. So that number one is very bad for Rwanda. The number two, M23 denying when they used to gloat and take responsibility for these killings. And now they want the world to know that they're denying it. That's also another bad sign for Rwanda. Because ultimately M23 is Rwanda, right? And the Rwanda's corporate supporters. And then the lead of the story is actually buried at the very, very end. And you pointed out some points where the article is saying the Congolese backed militia of Congo and M23. So AP is trying to do
Two sides.
some massaging on
Yeah.
behalf of Rwanda.
Yeah.
But the real story is buried one of the very last sections where it says the Bureau of African Affairs wants to take this to the UN Security Council. Because obviously, why is Kagame concerned now? Because now your foreign minister signed an agreement at the house where right now resides one of the most erratic presidents of this country. So obviously Kagame is concerned. How might this guy react? Wait a minute. You're sending your foreign minister all the way here. They stood next to me. They signed this thing. And now I'm getting news that, the people you back are still causing havoc. So that's why they wanted everybody to know that we had nothing to do with it, right? Because they fear the possible consequences. And the lead is buried because if they take this to the Security Council, as the U.S. is now saying, they might decide to do something about it. And then you as Rwanda, how are you going to stand up to the Security Council and the U.S.? And that is why they had that part massaging, trying to, you notice they never tried to get a quote from a Congolese government official. Think about it. You're quoting two different M23 officials, but not saying, let me call Congo's foreign minister.
So Brother Milton, I have a question for you. Kagame has been the,
Darling.
golden boy of the West for some time. Who did he piss off lately? Because it looks like they're about to do a Saddam Hussein on him.
Okay. Actually, that is a good question, and that's what I have not figured out. But that is worth exploring further. Something has happened. You're right.
Yeah.
And that's something we all need to
He
explore.
got too big for his britches.
Right. Explore independently and come back for another show of that. I hadn't even, Yeah, he touched some red line.
Okay, so there is a question I did scribble down, and which is, we constantly talk about the M23 and what have you. And the good sister mentioned the question, that what's the AU role? I suppose the question, a more pertinent question would be, now you have militias just basically in a very tight spot. You have 100 militias. At some point,
that's what they say. We don't know that. That could be.
That's what they say.
Right.
Yes.
As the sister pointed out,
who's
that
counting?
could be.
Who knows all these people?
Right. Sometimes this is something they pick from our earlier story and just copy and paste in the next article. And then it becomes a fact, you see. But I don't think it's possible to have 100 independent, separate militias there. That doesn't even make sense factually. 10 maybe, okay, possible. Right? Go ahead.
So we don't have 100 franchises running around with guns.
No, I can't believe that.